We're live.
Hey everybody, I'll call this meeting to order at 5:20. Thank you all so much for being here this evening, in the 100th day of the month of January. I hope everyone fared well for the snowstorm. Two things I want to talk about up top before we get started. The first is that the bulk of tonight's meeting will be mostly taken up by oversight, sort of like board governance issues. A lot of that will make, as if we vote to go into executive session, a lot of that will take place during executive session. So I appreciate everyone keeping all of the matters germane and efficient so that we don't go super long in executive session. And then the second thing is that, I don't know if I can remember if I did this last year, but certainly a couple years ago, I did one-on-one meetings with board members, just like take the pulse of how everyone's feeling and, get direct feedback on how I'm running the board, how Lily's doing, what we can do to like address specific needs and concerns. So my goal is to start that up in the next few weeks. So I'll be reaching out to you all individually to set up like copies, lunches, etc. I have a pretty flexible workday schedule, so I'm happy to accommodate what else needed and we can work that out. It will start, like, I'll start my round with Lily, and then I'll end my round with Lily. So, just wanted to find that for your purposes too, that I'll reach out to you first and start scheduling another week. And then get back with Lily to like debrief and kind of figure out what we need to address and move on. So, with that, please remember to sign the attendance sheet if you haven't already. And let's take up our first item, which is approving the November meeting minutes. Those were sent to you beforehand along with the agenda, but are also available in our copy stapled to the agenda. So I'll give you all like 60 seconds to review those and flag any issues. Otherwise, as a pleasure of my board, I will entertain a motion to approve the meeting minutes, waiving the reading of the minutes.
All right, so Jeremy is making a motion to approve the meeting minutes.
Second.
And it's seconded by Landry.
Do we have a problem? Yes, I think we're going to take problem. Okay, so Jeremy motioned, Andrew seconded. Do we have public comment? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the meeting minutes, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Thank you so much. Okay, our next set of voting items are related to executive session. Do we want to take the board information first? Is that please? Or do we want to? Okay. So do we want to take that first? Sure. Okay. So we're going to go a little bit out of order. So the first voting item is consideration of board member termination. If you will allow me a point of personal privilege to set some context here. As you all know, part of your board member expectations is to attend 80% of board meetings. We meet every other month. One of the things I will look forward to in our individual meetings is feedback on that. And if that is a higher number, be that as it may. Ms. Hummel has not been able to attend meetings. First, when we moved them from Tuesdays to Wednesdays around this time last year, she let us know at the time. That's not going to work on my schedule. And we're like, we'll see you in a few months. And then once they moved back to Tuesday, she still wasn't attending. We have reached out to her a number of times and not heard back. based on more discussion and action last November, we decided to send her a formal request to ask for her resignation. We did not get, the oversight committee did not get anything back from her. And so that is why this action is back on the agenda. And we can take action toward a board member's leadership based on 2/3 including board. So, Nina, did you want to add any other comments with this? Okay. There's one thing I just wanted to say. I hate that we have to do this, and it sucks because Nikki and I joined at the same time, and she was an incredibly important perspective to have as a former educator, and always when she was able to be present or was present and engaged in her vocal on her thoughts, which I really appreciated. But we also have to maintain out if we're going to have a high expectation of our students, we have to have a high expectation of ourselves and enforce the expectations that we set on ourselves. So this is partly accountability to me to share, like enforcing some of these expectations, even when it's not. So with 6 people here, 2/3 of that is 4. So at the pleasure of the board, I'll take a motion relative to this.
Just to clarify, does it be 2/3 of voting members present or 2/3 of all voting members?
So we can pull bylaws. You would bylaws say.
We love that.
Yes. It just says by 2/3 of the board of directors of JCFA. So that may mean the whole board.
Okay, so that would be,
Not voting.
okay. So it would have to be unanimous.
It would have to be that.
Is this 2/3?
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
technically it's 10 with it. So. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Roughly.
So do we need to table this for,
Can
okay. So in that case, we need to take a motion to table this item until we have 2 minutes. Candace made that motion.
Jordan, Candace made a motion to table the consideration of the termination of a board member to the next board meeting, and it was seconded by Derek.
Do we have public comment on this issue?
The only thing that I would add, as the first of all, is that Nikki did learn the board very well. She was very supportive to faculty, staff, JCFA, and always available to us for her service. So it's greatly appreciated the time commitment that she made for multiple years to JCFA. It was very supportive, and we appreciate all the work she's done for us.
Thank you. That was a great comment. Okay, all those in favor of tabling until we have 2 board members present, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion tabled. Thank you for that exercise. To my knowledge, well, since I don't have 4, this is the first time we've had it 2 years. Okay. So now we'll move to executive session, and we have to vote to go into executive session. And then should we vote to do that, the board members will leave and go to the back room to discuss personal matters. Then we have, once we come back, we have to vote to return to open meeting. And then Nina, as the oversight chair, will give a summary to the public as to what was discussed in executive session. And then we'll move on. Does anybody have any questions about the logistics? Okay. Do we have a motion to go into executive session?
I'll motion.
Thank you, need a motion, do I have a second? Thank you, Candace. Any public comment from whether or not we should go into executive session? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, let us move into executive session.
We all, okay.
We are.
Y'all just remember that's live. Anything I want to hold publicly here. Because I was about to
Maybe for WB. Just with college career. WCC, WBB, WCC, something like that. And I mean, I'm just trying to find. What's the name? WB, WCC.
Oh,
It will.
I was looking at it, it's in the video,
Jessica Chestnut or something. And I reached out to her and had her come and set up a booth at our event. And
Yeah, start our organization.
oh, great.
She found out how.
Okay, did you-
She'll give a five.
Okay. Maybe. Okay, then that's what it is. So it is the Collins family. It's the, so I reached out to the daughter.
Yeah, she did. She didn't have a job. Yes, they can be as I did, yeah, I have a right. And I email.
She was like, do you need, no, I just go ahead and here. She notices that she's still from me. She must be me. She's like, fine, on your shoulder. Now all he is, I know the big I got the minutes.
With a large and he was not home. I was home. I ate a good bit of it.
Okay, we're back to executive session. Before we, or, we should vote to return and then, we'll give us Nina, will you please provide a summary of what we discussed?
Sure. So in executive session, we discussed the results of the executive director 24-25 email from the board and also from the CAO, CMO. We discussed themes that the executive director will use to set new goals for next year, and we have asked her to do so for the meeting.
Thank you. All right, let's move to the meeting report.
Sure, so I'm going to start with a glorious introduction. As you all know, we were approved for our East Baton Rouge campus. We did a great CAO search. Some of you all were able to participate in those interviews, and we have with us tonight the lovely Shalana Sisco. She is our new CAO for our UR campus. She has been with us since the beginning of January, and she came in for Thanksgiving and did lunch with us. She came in for Christmas and did lunch with us. She came and toured the building in December and has been super helpful and on it and been training with Andrew since the beginning of January. She's now in basic training where she is actively super in the classroom. So I look forward to sitting with her on Friday and seeing how the first week of being a JCFA tutor has gone, because our classrooms are a lot of fun. So we're very excited to have her. She is amazing, and I look forward to you all getting to work with her and spending time with her, because she's pretty great and she does a great job. As you all know, we were approved the CSP grant. We've been awarded just over $1 million to open our East Baton Rouge campus. Those funds will pay for all of the training costs for the first 6 months. That's the first part of the grant. So we'll bring on our full team in the next 4 months so that they can all get trained here on the East Bank, on the West Bank, and in Lafayette, and be ready to go when we open. There's also funding within that for public relations and marketing and recruitment. So we're very excited about that as well. We're really goods on marketing, PR firm, and that.
Done.
And there's funds for other things as well. And once the second set of funding comes in for July, we're going to school, we'll be able to have funds to buy all the supplies and do all of those things. And then we also have New Schools Baton Rouge funding. The first $150,000 will be paid out in the next month. That is to help us with the start of activities. One of the things that CSP does not cover is the facility cost. So our New Schools Baton Rouge fund will cover the cost of the East Baton Rouge campus, as well as for some of the opening costs and CNO costs for supporting the and then we did lease a corporate apartment for Shalana while she was down here, as opposed to coming back and forth every day. So we did have our attorney review the lease to make sure that it was something that we would want to do. We were supposed to move in on the 22nd, and then had to delay that to Monday. So she spent her first night there last night.
Is it nice?
Monday, yes. Oh, yes, it's very nice, very quiet,
Okay.
and very close.
So she's right here.
Yes.
Shopping,
Not that I would shop.
Yeah.
She and her husband are doing Pelicans, and so they like to go.
Oh, yeah.
So Baton Rouge is going fine. There are some partnership building opportunities with BRCC and our resort for our facility space, and we have been getting to know them very well. It's been a lot of time with them. So we will have an amendment to our lease agreement that will come before you guys to get signed. Just some updates on using the space and costs for that using the space. Because there's going to be a different understanding that we have in this.
Got
But we have keys. I would just say it. All right, so then the next part that I want to introduce you all to, so in October, we're all in our October meeting where Gabby, who's been with us for 5 years left, she was a director, started this for students, she left to go follow her dreams, and so we support everyone who chooses to do that, and we still love them. And we have hired, Mr. Douglas Parker. And he started with us in January as well, and he is doing 2 recruitment classes right now. And it's important to us that if he's going to be supporting our special education teams, that he understands what the curriculum looks like in the classroom, what their accommodations look like in the classroom, how are we supporting students from an instructional space, so that he's really able to support our SPED teachers and our SPED team in developing those accommodations and those supports for students, so they understand the difference working in a classroom versus working in a traditional classroom, which is really different.
And as a point of personal privilege, Coach Harper is an old family friend of mine, and so when he reached out that he was interviewing for this position, I was like, I cannot wait to hear how it goes either way. So I'm so pleased to see that he's part of the JCFA family now. And as my mom would say, all roads lead back to the river.
That's right.
So then I'm gonna ask the people come up and we look very quickly at the December 31st financials, just as a kind of mention. We talked about the second quarter financial report and having some applications. The board finance through December 31st, the package is much easier to look at than the financial report. So I'm just going to show you the financial report as opposed to the second quarterly reports, because those are all, on Excel. That's the board package. Some of the same information that we presented in those second quarters. So, March right here. So we can just share what you would like to share and tell them right anything that like that.
Sure, yeah, so on page 2 of the dashboard, we look at the consolidated year-to-date through December 31st. You'll see we have actual revenue of about $2.4 million. That's expenses of $2.7 million. Current showing just under a $300,000 deficit. This is mainly due to some false spending that's not yet been claimed for federal programs. After this report was generated, there's about another $40,000 in revenue to add onto this actually bring down the deficit closer to a surplus. If you look at the balance sheet on the bottom right, we see we currently have $8.7 billion of cash in the account as of December. Combining that with our other assets, you can see goals of $1 million in assets. We have $131,000 in expenses, which payroll. That leaves us with an equity of $842,000. We're still forecasting an $11,000 surplus, but CSP funding and new location will be looking to forecast the remainder of the year. Currently, we're looking at about 64 days of cash in hand as of the end of December, which, as I mentioned, with the money coming in January, first day in January, that number has risen. If you go to page 3, you'll see a little more detail on our budget versus actual. Currently looking at 55% of our MFP per pupil funding remains to be claimed. About $434,000 federal entitlement funding, which, as I said previously, about $40,000 of that was in January. showing that we're about 53% of our revenue remaining to receive for the rest of the year. Go down to the expenses, salaries and benefits, where you're trending at about 46%, and it's mainly due to the state mandated stipends that are paid out in the second quarter, the fiscal second quarter of the year, October, November, December. So it's technically skewed numbers a little bit. You'll see it even out as we progress through this. Scroll down to the other personnel section. You'll see we're at 50% overall. And then towards the end of the year, we had some contracts in that will claim with federal funds. So that'll be offset by revenue in future months. If you go to page 4, you'll see the actual year-to-date by location. So you'll see that the West Bank showing about $890,000 revenue through the first 6 months. East Bank is about $1 million. Lafayette's about $412,000, and SEMA is about $27,000, the majority, if not all, which is the county. If you move down to the expense section, you'll see breakdown as well. The shares, West Bank has $595,000 of salary benefits, $661 to East Bank, Lafayette $235, and SEMA about $447. Bottom of the other personnel, $200,000 for the West Bank, $247,000 for the East Bank. Lafayette coming in at $141,000, and SEMA about $166,000 of other personnel. You move to the balance sheet on page 5. We touched on this dashboard. $874,000 in bank account as of December. Total assets of a little over $1 million, $1.1 million. Against the liability section, you see we actually have a credit with the vendor right now that we are realizing is bills. So it was negative. We have some accrued expenses, and the majority of that is the accrued payable. So you see we've had anything of $942,000. After this is the supplemental reports. You don't have to this year.
Any questions? Thank you, Dawn.
All right, so getting back, mid-year testing credit attainment and attendance, and so I want to bring up the spreadsheet that I was using, just to kind of show you where we are. We are looking at right now a slightly a dip in enrollment. Currently by about 26 students. We have orientations. We have orientation today, we have orientation tomorrow, we have orientation on Friday. So we hope that we will even out within that. Having the snow again last week definitely interrupted both our activities of recruitment and students coming in. And so we are doing our very best. We've told everybody if the student comes in, get them in, do their PM, do their orientation, get them started on ingenuity, get them enrolled immediately, no long process, which is done very quickly. Jordan has been doing her best to get out to schools and talk to the counselors and principals about getting kids into JCFA. When we look at year-to-date attendance, we are down in Lafayette over last year. We are up on the East Bank and on the West Bank in relation to last year. We do think that we can put some additional things in place to increase that attendance and increase getting kids into school. And if you look at total credits earned out of the far column all the way to the right, it's 1231. Lafayette is at 111 as of December 31st. The East Bank was at 397, and so if you look at that in comparison to that total credit of 739 from last year, they were well above, where they were last year, so we're really excited for them for that. And then, the West Bank was at 232, for credit term. So we feel like folks are moving in a good direction, and we are very excited about that. We're excited about where we're going with credit term. Is there, just to let you know, I started working on a group for the West Bank, that actually it was a field group after hurricane night. Really appreciate that. Her graduation is going to be on the 18th for this campus, so please mark down to come. I want to give a shout out to Jane Myers, who's going to
Yeah,
be.
I think it's the 25th.
It's the 25th.
Yeah, it's the 25th.
The calendar.
For East Bank, I know, Billy, I put 2 tentative dates on there, but he said it was the 25th of February.
So we need to talk about
We can check, yeah, we can talk.
for sure.
I
I will send you guys an update,
The 25th.
because I'm,
She said that.
yeah.
We'll verify before I send my.
He just told me that the other day because I was asking him about
Yeah.
supplies.
Yeah, I'll be in like Charleston conference.
Okay.
Okay. So we're excited for Wayne, he's gonna rain over the Morpheus inning, if you all remember that Wayne, it's hilarious, fantastic. For JCFA, one of the East and West. He started out as a math teacher, and then became our safety coordinator on this campus, and then decided he really wanted to retire as a building and that, and he just got so really.
And Morpheus, just throws.
That's right, King Morpheus.
I was watching about the attendance priority update.
Yes. Yes. So the Department of Education is very focused on attendance, and they sent out information to board chairs and schools to remind you of attendance and having a certain number of students who were below the attendance threshold who had high truancy. And one of the things that we know, right, is that our students don't necessarily have to come to school consistently to do well. So we battle fighting with kids to get them to come to school. And it's hard, right? They're coming to school and being successful, but they're only coming to school 50% of the time. It's hard to get them that they need. Doesn't mean that we don't, doesn't mean that we don't work at it, right? The other thing that we have to remember discussing, we're just gonna get in, that was where I always want to have an added date. We actually commit 19 days of school and still meet the requirement of our medicine. So when I think about that, I also think about our students. So our students technically have 19 more days than everyone else. So they're missing 34 days, which sounds terrible, right? It's not as bad as it sounds because they are in school here, right? So we are focused, we do have a team on every campus, and that's what the state wants you to do. We do have a team on every campus, we look at student attendance. We look at the reasons why people come to school or they're not coming to school, right? And trying to make sure that we are removing barriers to get kids to come to school. So we do have plans in place to address attendance. We don't necessarily have the same impact on outcomes for kids because of attendance as traditional schools have.
I accidentally to give some context to the priority update I received as a board chair. Because as we talked about before, sometimes it doesn't quite, the quantifiable data for traditional school doesn't quite translate to our model. And so when I did this priority update, it says here's your absenteeism score, whatever, I'm paraphrasing, we don't have that. It doesn't look good, but then that's why I asked for this very context for two reasons. Number one, in case y'all came across it and why I'm good. And secondly, absenteeism is becoming a big topic this year for the state board of education, the Supreme Court is talking about it, as well as truancy. I think there's gonna be a lot of buzz about it as legislative session draws closer, and so I just wanted to give some further context there, since I'm sure we'll be hearing more about it and adding new issues.
I definitely think so. When we look at students, we look at their success rate. And when we chart out graduates, when we look at our graduates, we would all consider to be successful, right? They achieved the goals they were here to achieve in graduating high school. When you look at their attendance, it is not what you would expect, right? It is often the persistence of the student and not the attendance of the student that makes them successful, right? So they may only come 2 days a week, but when they're here, they are active and engaged in what they're doing. So they're actually making a ton of work for them, and they're getting it done, right? We want them to come faster, because then, if they come more often, they will graduate sooner. But I think one young man who recently graduated, who we received no FE for this year because he was 24 years old. But he had come to us prior during COVID, and then dropped off basically there and returned to get his diploma. He had 3 credits left to earn, and he came to school once a week, once every other week, which was frustrating because we knew if we came in, we could get done sooner. He started in July, he finished in December, he is now a high school graduate. So he is a successful in our community, right? Because he wanted to get his high school diploma so he could continue and go to college, right? And he also wanted it for himself and for his family, right? He was one of those kids who actually said he wanted it to his G. He knew G very well. Yes. And so it was really great. So knowing that we can do that for kids is really important. We want them to come to school more often because they get the resources they need. But it doesn't preclude them from being on this wall if they're not meeting those goals. Same. So it's a balance for us and how far do we push, right? And truthfully, Lafayette has a higher standard for attendance. They're much harder on their kids who don't have good attendance. It doesn't necessarily mean that their students are more successful. So it is definitely been a balancing act for us. How do we get our kids to where they need to be and to come to school? But it's hard to push back when they are working on the jobs, taking care of children, taking care of loved ones, and they're performing. So just, I shared this with you all. I'll explain what it is. I won't necessarily point out everything, but I'll explain what it is. This shows you where we would be based on the fall semester for SPS for each campus. And some of those things are going to look really scary to you because they may be low numbers, but they tend to change fall to spring. And this just gives you an indicator of where we are versus where we were by the end of the year in 2024 versus where we are at the end of the year this year. Okay, and these are all of those indicators. And you'll see percent 0 that means the percentage of students who earned no or percentage of students who earned 0 credits. Obviously, it is a concern to us. We want students to be earning credits. Most of those students that you'll see that have 0 core, 0 total are students who hit the 10-1 cap and then stop coming to school. So they weren't dropped, but they weren't actively engaged in school, but they still count on their SPMs, right? And even if they were dropped, they still count on their SPMs. So that's what I want. And then the max would be, you can get 150 points. So what percentage of the students got 150 points for 4 GCA? Okay. And then just to kind of briefly and quickly present them, go over week results with you all. I didn't send them out to you guys, a whole lot of information. So this is algebra, and when, algebra is hard, out of the hard test, I don't want to say it. These are all students at all schools, so the total would be, initial and retesters, and then we break down the initial and retesters. So you can see that for our initial testers, 89% of them passed, 75% of them passed proficient, right? 13% of them didn't pass. Our retesters, 60% of them passed, 7% of them passed proficient, 40% of them did not pass. Okay, so that was how it worked. For bio, and this is what I told you guys, we have a whole lot of kids test in biology. Often they are retesters, and they're retesters in both biology and chemistry. So we had a total of 57 total testers, 36 were initial, 21 were retesters, 81% passed initial with 42% proficient. And you can see that our retesters did not do well. Right? Most of those retesters are also retesters with chemistry. They're trying to pass at least one of those tests. English 1, this is where we see a lot of our EL students struggle in particular because, again, this is their first English, and English is not their first language. So they tend to really struggle with this. So they did the total testers in English, 21 initial, 67% of those passed, 43% of them were proficient. Our retesters only 27% passed, 72% did not pass. And if you're wondering what are our goals, right? We're looking for 90% pass rate and 60% proficient rate. So we're not happy with where we are. Right, we really have work to do, in particular for our initial class, right? English 2.
And this speaks to some of the specifics that we talked about.
Yes. I did a ton. Yes. There's the English 2, which tends to be the harder of the English test. We're closer to 80% we passed, 63% proficient. So we hit the proficiency rate that we wanted to hit. We were very happy with that. And you see that we have higher pass rate for English 2, which is great, right? And so sometimes there's new testers, obviously for English 2, they've been through multiple Englishes, so now they're getting more support and they're ready to test.
So the retest for English 2, you have to pass English 1, or just take English 1?
You just have to take English. Yes. Yes. So some of these students are English 1.
Can you pass the one or the other, and that counts your graduation?
Yeah, so if you pass English 1, it counts as your graduation, you still have to take the English 2 test and do the English 2 class, right? So once you have a pass, you don't have to take the other. You don't have to retake the other to fail it, you have to take the other to take the class. And right now, they're shifting from US history to civics. Our students are all taking the civics test, and we will let their students. They're not doing civics. So we won't get scores until the May test for the fall. They don't count towards their.
It's not, it's considered
That group, I don't know, that's a talking about. But going forward, it won't be US history, so it's an incoming cohort that won't be US history, it will be civics. So US history will be phased out. And so these are our US history scores, and we had a smaller, this is geometry. Don't get that. Geometry is generally our smallest group of testers, but it tends to be our highest performing group, right? So it's out of our retesters, 100% of our retesters in geometry passed. 77% of our initial testers passed, 38% of them were professional. So we tend to do pretty good with geometry.
And you recommend your students who will proficient in geometry, this is not a training phase?
You should. And there was our data that we were going the testing. And then this is US history, so again, another large group of students. 81% of our initial passing, 56% of the being proficient. So almost at the rate where we want our initial lessons to be. But again, not a great result for our retesters. I am going to provide you all in March how many of those students tested COVID in that kind of requirement, right? It's telling you that 15 kids didn't pass, without us seeing 5 of them pass biology, then really it's only 10 you have to figure out how to help them, right? So those are the week scores. Any other questions on week? And then just an encouraging word for you all to try to log into your ingenuity and do some.
And as I mentioned up top, we are in the 100th day of January. The holidays in this month identify and speak for us in any capacity. It's been a shit show. And so, of course, this is not top of your list. I was able to find some time to do one lesson in biology. It was humbling. Okay? It was a lesson in lipids, and I was reevaluating a lot of things. So let me just say, when y'all are able to find some very free time in your busy schedules, and you wanna vent to me via text, my text is the open, and they are a safe space. I was a person in some biology class. So yeah, this is we're trying to integrate a fun component to the board of it all. So, get to it when you can. We'll continue talking about it. But yeah.
Yeah, and from our standpoint, we really want you to see what the curriculum and our students have presented to them. What does it have in it? Is it as diverse as it should be? Do you feel like there's great content? And obviously our faculty in the classroom, they're helping to bring more to the content than just what's on the computer. But we feel like there is great content, that there is the standards on that in the curriculum, and that the students work through. We know students listen to the lessons, they take the notes, they do the practices, they apply themselves, that they are going to get the knowledge that they need to be successful. So we want you all to have the opportunity to see what does that curriculum look like, so that you can understand what the process is. And I can tell you that in 2013, I sat in chemistry class for 1 period a day in chemistry. And I had done very well in high school and in college in chemistry. So I was like, oh, this will be easy for me to stay on pace and remain in the blue, right? You can either be green, blue, or red. Green is advanced, blue is on target, red is behind. For me to stay on pace, I had to focus and work the whole last period to maintain that blue or green line. If I missed any time or I stepped away to take a phone call, I was not going to maintain the pace. So I know that it's rigorous for our students, that the pacing is rigorous for our students, and the information is quality information to the curriculum. It will give you an experience to see what our students are doing and understand that you do this high school.
Y'all really give me out the room.
Yes,
Yeah, so just keep that in mind. And just keep laughing over there.
Yes. Yeah. But we have to make sure that we gave you a course that would be a struggle, right? That runs really well. Our students are basically we take a portion of we take we like the idea that our kids, some of our kids use it properly.
Okay, any other things that we haven't had a chance to cover? I think we've gotten some of our agenda Thank you all for bearing with us. Okay, with that, I'll take a motion to adjourn. Jeremy made that motion to adjourn. Candace seconded. Yes. Any public comment? Hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, we are adjourned at 6:41 p.m. Thank you.
Oh, yes, so the bar gifts put together, the English teacher, and April Christmas. And, yeah, it's very sweet, very sweet. Came downstairs. Very
Who are these? Nicole.
You can just move it and stick it in.
Thank you, Landry.
Yes, perfect.
I'm just trying to get to, I need these, I'm coding these classes. These are just. Did you have like the same too? Oh. I think I'm gonna go graduate, so I can end up working. Because Because what happened was J.K. Dobbins, he came back like that Saturday, and Tyler Spears too. And Aaron Jones, he's been like hitting this whole season. And Pacheco and Hunt, the base, they're doing bad. So, and then when I was playing against Adam, like, I didn't want to take away from stuff, like, it was still there. Both of them